So far, I've really loved using the nano adhesive. It works out great. I started out printing ULTEM parts, and we use them for aircraft engines. These are like 170 to 200 cc engines, and so we got to use ULTEM, high temperature. We use alcohol fuel, so it's got to be resistant, all of that. And so we started printing, and the yield rate was like really low. So I was typically getting about 30% yield, and usually bed adhesion was the number one issue. So I'd be printing 8 hours in, about $30 worth of ULTEM, and it'd start peeling off. And so scrap, start over again. So not only material cost, but time. And that was, doing the bed adhesive. So gluing, scraping, heating, scraping, putting it back on. So while I'm doing one print job, using another print plate. So, that was tedious, to say it all, and plus a bit messy when you're cleaning up. And so when y'all came out with the nano adhesive, that was awesome, because it's just a thin layer. You put it on once and it sticks. It sticks really well, and it sticks all the time. And so my yield has gone up to about 100%. And so that's awesome. And the other thing that I had to do was I was having to under the old, even though it was peeling up, I was having to add extra material and then take it in, and I had tooling, so then I could put it on the mill and face it. I don't have to do any of that anymore. So I can build the not a near form part, but an actual form part, and I don't have to do anything extra. So when I'm done printing, I'm done printing, and just a little bit of post cleanup and put in some bushings for the fasteners, and I'm good to go with some expensive engine parts, and they're good to go, running at like 30 Gs, and in terms of turns, so pretty sophisticated stuff. And I don't have to worry about printing out a bunch of extra parts or having a lot of high dollar scrap anymore. So that is what makes the nano adhesive pretty cool and worth it. So it works out great, and we'll certainly continue to be using it and recommend it to everybody else for engineered materials. For me, it's time and parts. So if I look at the return on the extra incremental cost for the adhesive, I think that pays for itself within just a few print jobs. Because if you're having to throw away $25, $50 worth of plastic on a regular basis, that pays for itself quickly. And then what I can also do is throughput. So instead of having to deal with putting on glue and all of my time, I'd rather be doing other things than scraping glue flat on a glass plate. So it saves a lot of my time, so I can do stuff that's a little more valuable than scraping glue. So sort of a 1-2 step, and in a couple of seconds versus maybe an hour of prep by the time you actually look at what you have to do with the glue approach for ULTEM. It's probably gone from up to an hour by the time you let plates cool off, you coat it, you scrape it, and do that. And you got to do that before every print job. And now I just put on a coat of the nano adhesive, and that takes about 5 seconds, and then it dries almost instantaneously, and then I print, and that's it. And then every so often I'll clean it off with just a little bit of alcohol and scrape it off, and that's actually about a 2-minute exercise, maybe every third or fourth print. And then I just put a top-up coat for ULTEM. That's what I have to do for the way I print. But again, that's just a couple of seconds between each print, and I'm not having to re-level or anything as much. So I can keep everything hot, stable, and so that works out great just in terms of cycle time reduction. My day job, I do aerospace stuff, so occasionally I'll bring that stuff to like workshops with satellite companies, and we're doing like innovation, and I don't say they're toy airplane parts. These are engine parts for autonomous drones at high G applications. It's professional grade stuff that we're doing, so that's pretty cool.